Time necessitates only a brief chat this week, so we're going to talk about something close to my heart. Crisps. You will notice I have on my desk next to me an empty packet of crisps. You'll also notice that they are Lay's, which in the UK is absolute blasphemy, alright? They're Walkers through and through. Can't deal with it. Lay's is European, it's also apparently Vietnamese, and no, Smith's is Australian. They're all owned by like PepsiCo or something, and they've all got a similar logo, and it's very confusing when you're abroad, especially because I've got natural plastic thinking, oh fantastic, it's ready salted, and it is, but they've got sugar in them and whey powder. They don't taste the same, okay? If you are a Brit looking for a classic packet of crisps abroad, don't bother, you're just going to be disappointed. What we recognise as the first potato shavings recipe came out in 1817 by celebrity cook William Kitchener, who was an English guy, and it's really weird thinking about a celebrity cook happening in the 1800s, but obviously it did happen. He was born in 1775, the same year as Jane Austen, but sadly she passed away in 1817, so she may have never had a crisp. The first company commercially producing crisps was in Dayton, Ohio in America, and that was in 1910, whereas in London, the UK, it happened in 1920, but I think they really shot off in the 50s, 60s, so, you know, we're liking canned food, and I guess crisps just sort of slide into that as well. A lot of this information is from a website called museumofcrisps.com, so go check it out. Apparently in the UK, one of the most popular flavours is salt and vinegar, but I would say ready salted and cheese and onion are the most popular flavours, whereas in Australia, especially in Melbourne, salt and vinegar, my favourite flavour, is amazing. Like, it's universal there. You will see salt and vinegar in a pink packet, which is prawn cocktail to me, but that is everywhere, and I'm like, these people are my people. I do miss prawn cocktail, by the way. I really miss prawn cocktail and Monster Munch and What's It's, and normal ready salted crisps and all this milk powder nonsense. To me, crisps are quintessentially British because pubs are quintessentially British. You can't, they go hand in hand. And you know what you do with a packet of crisps while your mates are finishing off their alcohol? You fold it up, you play with it. It's the British form of origami. And that's what we're going to be doing today. We are going to be demonstrating the correct method to fold a packet of crisps. And before you go off on me, I know there are multiple ways to do it, okay? I have tried all of the ones that TikTok users who yelled at me told me to do it, all right? I know there are different ways. There's different ways of doing the triangle, which I'm going to show you today. You can make an isosceles triangle instead of a right angle triangle. Maths ain't muffin. The maths ain't muffin. You can also tie it in a knot or a pretzel, and you can make a pentagon, and those are all great. You can make an even bigger triangle, but I cannot get past my learned behaviour, which is this right angled triangle. It is neat, it is tidy. In a survey of one person, 100% said this is the best way to fold a packet of crisps. Without further ado, we're going to get into it. We're going to fold this beauty into the perfect right angled triangle. Let's do it. What you will want to do when you're first folding is work out what side you want facing outwards. Now, I normally like the logo facing outwards, but because this is a king pack instead of, you know, a healthy person's pack, then my logo's up here, so I'm just going to settle for this bit being outwards. And what we're going to do is we're going to divide it into rough thirds. This comes with practice, and you can always fiddle around with it. And then we're going to kind of do it that way, and that's not very demonstrative, but this is the area that is going to be our key point. Okay, so number one into thirds, one over, and then the next one, and you can fiddle around with it. You can see they're not perfect thirds, but they're good enough. Then we're going to fold it roughly at the halfway point. This is the halfway point, but I'm taking about a thumb's difference to fold it so that I have two equal halves. Okay, again, takes a bit of practice. And what you want this bit to be is a right angle. This is where a right angle triangle comes in. What we then need to do is secure it. So I'm then folding this over towards my right angle triangle, and you can see whether your triangle is going to be neat and tidy when you start folding it. So there's a couple of points there that I just want to neaten up. There, look at how pointy that tip is. And same over the other side. It's not pointy enough. Okay, I'm going to go back and correct it because a bit of a perfectionist. There we go. And this is, as I said, the key to making it as neat as possible is to get your triangle into neat proportions and really be aware of those points. So, done it in half, folded one over the side, mindful of my points, folded the other one over the other side, again mindful of my points, and then this is the slightly tricky bit. This is the most compact part of the triangle. What we're going to do is get this not so neat edge and push it in so that it's tucked into this pocket here, and then do the same with the other side. Okay, and then the hardest part, tucking all of that inside until we have a perfect triangular shape. This is really hard to demonstrate as well as talking, which is ridiculous. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. And you'll see from our original crisp packet, it's that bit under the logo that we can see here. There's a right angled triangle point, and there's a little bit of the cut off of the logo. Now, I haven't mapped it out exactly where on the front you can see in which section. If you wanted to make, I don't know, art or something with it, you'd have to think about it. The only way to make these neater is to flatten it, I think, at each stage, if that's what you wish to do. And you can see, because I didn't have perfect thirds and haven't gone back to correct it quite right, then I've got a little bit of imperfection there, but that's fine. You might be asking, what's the point? That's a fair question. Boredom. And it's quite cool. It's the same reason that you do origami, apart from if you do a fancy bit of origami with a packet of crisps, then people who are drinking in the pub might go, what are you doing? But you were just flicking at them. Quite a good harmless projectile. You have to be careful though, because they're drunk and could fall into the river in the pub. That's how you do the best packet of crisps. It takes a while to practice, a while to perfect. It's quintessentially British, and I miss it. I miss being with my mates in a social area, being bored, and having finished a packet of crisps, doing that, because it's kind of a neat party trick. Not everybody can do it. It's not that hard, as demonstrated. It's fun, and life is about making the most of those fun little moments, especially when you're bored. So next time you're in a pub with a mate, make your own bookmark. Have a great week. See you next time for something maybe a little better planned and possibly less silly. Bye.
What's this, I hear you cry? Well, it's an empty packet of Whatsits, so don't know why you really asked me that. But what am I doing to the packet of Whatsits? Well, I am making a very, very proud British tradition that you'll find in all the pubs everywhere, probably, if people know how to do it. It's a folded packet of crisps!